In this video, I'm going to tell you how I made this simple set look like this. So we built this set for an upcoming music video that I'm working on filming, and it's essentially supposed to be a poker set, you know, like a poker table in a casino or any private poker room or something like that. Now, pretty much the only location we had that big enough and kind of open enough for this was a storage unit that I have, which is already pretty much filled to the brim. So we pretty much had to move everything out of the way just to get enough room for my, I think it's like an 84-inch or 80-something inch Savage seamless paper backdrop, and this is just a black backdrop, and that's essentially just the background for this whole set. So we got that set up, and then we had this white foldable classic 6-foot tables. I set that up, put a green screen on top of that to kind of look like the poker table felt, and of course had poker chips, cards. We had some drinks to make kind of like a whiskey looking type of drink, kind of to fit the aesthetic and fit the mood of the scene. For that we actually used fake ice cubes and then apple juice, which surprisingly looks pretty realistic. It looks really good, in my opinion at least. That's everything that we had set up there, you know, just of course some props, stuff like that, poker chips, cards, drinks, and that sort of thing. Just a simple white plastic foldable table with a green screen on top of it, not even real poker table felt, and then just a black background. And so now at this point, most people would get this set up, they'd say, okay, you know, this will hopefully work. They'd pull their camera out, they'd look at it, and they would just see all these shelves to the left, and then just the door and the outside to the right. They'd see all that stuff on the sides, they look at different angles, and at that point they'd say, man, you know, this isn't gonna work, this is too small of an area, this is too small and simple of a set. However, the two most important things that a lot of people look over, especially with stuff like this, is composition and lighting. So I'm gonna start with lighting. And so my goal with this set and with this scene in general was to pretty much have my focus be on poker chips, you know, the two characters that are in the scene, the cards, and stuff like that, and to pretty much have nothingness in the background, because of course we don't have the budget or the connections or locations or anything to go shoot in a real casino or real poker room. But if I had anything else in the background, like just random shelves, or there was like a metal wall is what's in the regular storage unit, that wouldn't look anything like you're in a casino. You would obviously instantly be distracted and say, oh, they're just in some random spot pretending they're at a poker table. So my idea behind the black background was almost to make it look like just an empty abyss, to where you don't see anything, so it technically doesn't look like you're in a casino because it's just darkness in the background. But since there's nothing there and you're just focused on the subjects of the video and everything else in the foreground, when you watch that, you don't even really think about it. You don't even think about the fact that there should be a casino in the background, you know, people and poker tables and slot machines and stuff. You don't even think about that because the goal was to make it look like there's just nothing there. You don't even think about the background. Now the way to do that was, of course, with composition and with lighting. So for lighting, I actually opened up it's like a garage style door, a huge, I don't know what it is, like 10 foot wide by 8 foot tall or something door. And it was a cloudy day that day, so that let in a huge amount of soft light coming in through one side. So that was kind of the key light for the scene. It was a really soft light, really nice. But then as a fill light to kind of fill on the other side, I had my small rig RC220B light with a huge lantern softbox to kind of fill everything in but still have a nice smooth soft light. And then I blocked out part of it so I keep the background as dark as I possibly could. And that is as simple as I went with the lighting. Literally one light, which was a fill light, and then just the outside cloudy diffused outdoor light as the key light for this. And I did the best I could to light everything in the foreground but keep the background as dark as possible so that it would, again, just kind of fall away into the abyss. You wouldn't even see the background, you wouldn't even notice it. And so that's the first step, is lighting everything like that to kind of just separate the foreground from the background. There wasn't even that much physical depth from the foreground to the background. It was actually probably almost the same as this. This wall is a foot behind me. It was pretty much that far, but because of how we did the lighting, it made it not very noticeable. It was really contrasty, kind of a moody, darker scene. Now real quick, like I said, this scene is coming from a music video that I'm working on right now, working on filming for a good friend of mine, Chris. I'm gonna link the channel that it's gonna be on down below in the description. I don't believe it's gonna be out while I release this video, but I'm gonna link the channel in the description, and if the video is out, then that'll be the link in the description as well. So go check that out if you want to see all the different shots. I filmed the whole music video, and I filmed all his music videos for him. So go check those out. You know, we both put a lot of work into them, so it'd be awesome if you just want to see some of the music videos that I've shot. But either way, link in the description for that, so you can see this full scene in action in the full music video if you're interested in that. But either way, let's get back to the video. Then on to composition. Like I said earlier, most people would pull out their camera or their phone or whatever they use, and they'd see all this stuff off to each side and just kind of get discouraged right there and say, you know, we need a bigger set, we need more stuff like this. Everything's in the way with this set. It just kind of discourages you from the first look. So that's where you kind of have to be creative, especially with really small sets like that. I ended up using my Tokina 28 to 70mm lens on my A7S III, and I believe for almost the entire thing I had it at 70mm, so I had to kind of get those tight shots to compress the background and keep all that other stuff off to the sides out of the shot and out of the scene. So almost all these shots were filmed at 70mm, and this was definitely really limiting. However, being able to kind of move around, move the subjects around and poker chips and everything else like that, being able to just move all that around to best fit this focal length and to make it work as best as I could and just have the best composition possible. So really what I had to do to just really make this believable that we're not just in this storage unit with a black backdrop and this little table with a green screen on top of it. And so it's really as simple as that. I just kind of wanted to show this to you, maybe give you some inspiration if you're trying to do something like this, or you know, if you kind of have a smaller location for building sets. I just wanted to use this as some inspiration. This isn't a tutorial on how to do this or anything like that. I just really want to hopefully inspire you to show you how I was able to make this kind of janky, smaller set look like what I imagined in my head, look like a poker set essentially. And this can really be taken to really any different extreme. It doesn't have to be just a poker set and, you know, do exactly what I did. It can really be anything. If you just really key point composition and lighting, you can almost always make your simple locations or simple or small or whatever sort of limitation you have, set or location, look a lot better than it actually does in real life when you're sitting there looking at it. But either way, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Go down, hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.